Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here to give you my favorite NBA player prop picks today. We're talking Tuesday, March 18th. Yes, that is the date. I'm going to have three NBA player prop picks for you guys to lock in for tonight's NBA betting slate. It's a little bit of a lighter slate in general, only 4 games. And this Bucks Warriors, we don't know on the Warriors side who's going to play. Steve Kerr said that they might end up resting Steph. So that game's kind of a stay away, at least right now. But I do have three plays for you guys to lock in that I do really like. In terms of how we did yesterday, it ended up being a pretty good day overall. We got 4 of our 5 plays to cash. We were up 3.34 units exactly yesterday, a little bit over 3 just to round it. We cashed out Jalen Wells, Austin Reeves, and DeMar DeRozan. This DeMar one could have been a ladder play, but that's all right. We did lose Jalen Duren over 11.5 rebounds. This one was tracking. He had 5 rebounds in the first quarter. He had 7 at halftime, but it was like a 30-point game, and I don't think he got a single rebound in the second half. So that's not me saying this was a bad beat or anything like that. It's the dance we play when you're betting the Pistons-Pelicans game, and it just didn't come to fruition. The same risk was in the Sixers-Rockets game, but that did not come to fruition as Jalen Green did score 25 points. I think he scored 30. He had 5 points at halftime. I thought that one was dead, but it was not. So I'm happy to have a good day like we had yesterday. On the entire season, we are up 30.25 units, 5.47% ROI. Again, it's not the most amazing season. Like you've seen people, you know people probably that have had a better season than I've had, but I'm pretty happy with how it has gone, considering what a slog of a season it's felt like it's been. So 30.25 units of profit, 5.47% ROI. Good in my book. As for today, again, I'm going to have 3 plays for you guys. We can get into it. So the screen, or what you see on the screen here, I should say, is Props Madness. It's my favorite NBA betting tool. If you want to check them out, I put a link to them in the description of the video. If you sign up, it would help me out a lot if you used the promo code my last name Modi, all caps MOD, as in David I. You can also get a 7-day free trial and 25% off. So I'll show you in the video how I use Props Madness, but just if you want to sign up. So Hawks Hornets, I do have a play in this game. And this one I'm going to go ahead and call our Pepto play of the day. It's going to feel absolutely horrifying. But I took Lamelo Ball, and I took him 30-plus points. Now, 30-plus is a number that he has hit 7 of his last 30 games, but he's actually hit it in 0 of his last 20 games. He's only averaging 20 points per game. So you're probably wondering, why the heck are you betting on Lamelo Ball? Well, the biggest reason, or the 2 reasons, but the biggest reason, no Miles Bridges. He has played 7 games this year without Miles Bridges. He has scored 30 or more points in all 7 of those games, averaging 38 points per game. And you go into these games, 31, 38, 35, 35, 50, 44, and 32. Now, the risk here, and this could end up looking like the dumbest bet in the history of the world, depending on how things go. The risk here is that the last time he's played without Bridges was back in November 27th. So his lack of volume recently, has been with Bridges in the lineup. And we don't really know whether that is going to, is he going to continue to shoot as little as he has recently? Now, everything is down recently for Lamelo Ball. We look at his last 10 games. We look at his usage rate. On the season, 33.8%. Last 10 games, 30%. We look at his field goal attempts. On the season, 21.5. Over the last 10 games, 18.8. Now, there's some weird situations in this stretch. Like this game, they lost by 53. He played 22 minutes. Now, there's always a chance that the Hornets lose by a lot. It's unlikely that they lose by 53, and it's unlikely that he only plays 22 minutes. This game right here against the Cavs, kind of a similar thing. He only played 23 minutes. He scored 13 points. He was in foul trouble this entire game, and he actually fouled out of this game. So a lot of the games where he didn't play, this game left injury early, 10 minutes. This game left due to injury early, played 10 minutes. So we take out the outliers. We just look at games which he scored 25 minutes. It's still really gross. Or no, that's 25 field goal attempts. Excuse me. That's not what I wanted to look at. Games in which he's played 25 minutes. It's still pretty gross. It's still like 0 of his last 14 games. But I just wanted to show you that the minutes are about averaging 33 minutes per game, 33 over the last 10 games. So his minutes, I think, are going to be fine. They're going to be 30 to 31, 32 minutes. That's kind of the point I'm trying to get across here. And in the games without Miles Bridges, if we go back to that, his usage rate, his volume, his all of the above was just absurd. Usage rate, 43%. That would be the number one usage rate in the history of the NBA. Like, I think only two guys in NBA history have had a usage rate above 40%. It was Russell Westbrook and James Harden, I think, are the only two guys. And to confirm, usage rate is a possession that ends either with that player taking a shot or getting fouled, which means that 43% of the time, without Miles Bridges in the lineup, LaMelo Ball is taking a shot that ends a possession, right? That's an insane number. You want to look at his field goal attempts, 30.9, like 10 above, almost 10 above his average. So maybe he's not going to go back to shooting 30 per game, which is what he did in all these games without Miles Bridges. Maybe he goes 25, 22, 23. If we just kind of, let's call it 20 shots. It still looks pretty gross, but it's 30 points in half of his games when he's taken at least 20 shots. Now, it has been like missed it in 10 straight after hitting it a while. We go up to like 23 shots. It's a 13 of 17 hit rate. And again, he averaged 30 field goal attempts per game without Miles Bridges. So even if he's a little bit below that, I like for him to score 30 plus points. And the matchup is really good against the Hawks as well. 6 of 10 players with LaMelo Ball's scoring profile have hit the over against the Hawks. Now, LaMelo has played them twice. One game he cashed it, 14 shots. 20 shots, 14 3-point attempts. The other game he missed, and this was just less than a week ago. He put up 21 shots. Now, he shot horribly. 6 of 21 from the field, 3 of 11 from deep. But at least the volume was there in that game. And Miles Bridges played in that game as well. You hover over the play types. I mean, the top 4 for where his points come from. The Hawks are bottom 10, right? Pick and roll ball handler, transition, free throw, spot up. They range from the 8th worst to the 10th worst. Either way, really good matchup. The Hawks give up the 5th most points per game via the above the break 3-pointer. Now, the Hawks are pretty bad both in pull up and catch and shoot, which is why this number is as high as it is. So I'm not going to pretend that all of these come via the pull up, but some of them do, right? They're pretty bad in both. So I think this is a worthy hit. They're pricing it at 27.5, despite the fact that he's gone under this number. Like, if you look at his last 20 games, he's gone under in 19 of those 20. So they know what they're doing, pricing it at 27.5, and it's because of the increased volume that I am projecting without Miles Bridges. Now, if he goes back to shooting, I guess 21 isn't bad, but like the 13 shots here, the 18 shots here, then this is going to look like a dumb bet. But I just think that the volume is going to be there and a good matchup without Miles Bridges. So that's play number 1. In our second and third, our last 2 plays are both in this Celtics-Nets game. The first one, we're going Jason Tatum, and we're taking him on the 3-pointers. So this is the exact bet that I got. Oh, I should have told you the odds. Sorry. LaMelo Ball was 30 plus points, plus 140 odds at Bet365. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Sometimes I go into these spiels and I lose track. But yeah, it's 30 plus points, plus 140 odds at Bet365. I'm going to do a recap at the end, just so you know. Anyways, Jason Tatum, 4 plus 3-pointers, plus 105 odds at DraftKings. This is the exact bet that I locked it in, plus 105, both at DraftKings and BetMGM. The reason why we are on this play is because Jaylen Brown is out of the lineup, and Jason Tatum has played 12 games this year. Without Jaylen Brown, he has hit 4 or more 3-pointers in 11 of those 12 games. The volume is crazy. The hit rate is crazy. Again, you can't just be a hit rate better, but this isn't being a hit rate better. Hit rate better would be like 13 of his last 24, which is not what we're looking at. We're looking at games specifically without Jaylen Brown. The one game he missed, he went 1 of 9 from 3-point range. And the important thing to note, all 12 of these games, he took 9 or more 3-pointers. Like, if we just want to go through the list, 9, 14, 10, 13, 9, 17, 10, 12, 14, 9, 11, and 12. So, yeah, 9 in every single game. You want to look at how he has done in the games in which he has taken at least 9 3-point attempts on the entire year. When he's taken 9, and we're going to go to the entire season, 48 games, 62.5% hit rate when he's taken at least 9 3-pointers, which he's done in all 12 games without Jaylen Brown. And even though the Celtics, KP, all right, how has he done with Jaylen Brown without KP? It's 5 games. He hit it in all 5. Now, the 3-pointers are down a little bit. Instead of averaging like a 12 per game, it's closer to 11 per game. but it's still 9, at least 9 in every single game. 9, 10, 12, 14, and 9. So he doesn't have the ceiling of like 15 3-pointers, but he still is going to take at least 9 every game. And more often than not, he's going to take 10. So I really like this one for Jason Tatum. Now he's listed as questionable. If he ends up missing, we'll just get this play refunded. No harm, no foul. Good to go there. Not really scared off of that. And if he does get ruled out, I might have a pivot, not necessarily in this game, but with some other plays that I'm looking at. But this is our second one, Jason Tatum, over 3.5 made 3-pointers. He's also played the Nets once without Jaylen Brown, and he put up 13 in that game. Now, KP also missed that game. But we look at games against the Nets in general, and Brown played in one of these games. One game missing both. One game Brown played missing Porzingis, but 5 in each. And then the last game, 1 of 7 from deep. But everybody played. Well, everybody meaning Brown and Porzingis. So I think it's a really, really good spot for Jason Tatum and his 3-point prop. That's our second play. Our third one and our final pick of the video. You guys know the drill. We're going to our king, Kristaps Porzingis, first quarter points. Unfortunately, the line moved a little bit on this one. It was plus 100 at ESPN Bet. It's now minus 140, so they moved that dramatically. I would still take it at minus 105 at Bet 365, so no issues there. Now, yes, KP did miss this in his last game. He only played 7 minutes. He scored 4 points in the first quarter. But you look at that full game, he played really well. He scored 24, and he played 32 minutes. So, you know, he had a slow start, which was in the projection when I did bet this last game, and he missed it, but that's okay. I like the fact that he played 30 minutes in that game, and that he played well. So, like, I'm not really concerned of anything minutes related. He's going to play his normal 8 to 10 minutes in the first quarter of this game. And we all know KP, he's the first quarter king. I mean, 22 of 33 games, a 2/3 hit rate. And after a little bit of a slower start to the year, his last 20 games, he hit it in 16 of them. Missed it once where he scored 5. Missed it another time where he scored 4. Now, you're always going to be 1 bucket away, so that's not me saying, like, oh, those were bad beats. But the volume that he has in the first quarter is crazy. And the matchup against the Nets is decent. You know, they don't give up a lot to the roll man, but everything else, post up, 7th most, free throws, 8th most, spot up, 4th most, transition, 4th most. So it actually is a pretty decent matchup when you take away the pick and roll man. And then I mentioned Jaylen Brown is out for this game. The times he's done it without Jaylen Brown, only been 5 games. It's 3 of 5. He's hit the over. One time he missed was the last game he played before he missed a bunch of time with an illness. And then Tatum is questionable as well. So I like this right now. Bet it right now. Brown's already out. If Tatum gets ruled out, this is just going to be an even better play for Kristaps Porzingis. So that is our third and final pick of the video. Since I only had 3 picks, I will give you guys some leans that I looked at. DeQuan Jeffries, and shout out to you know who in the Discord for putting me on this. I was close to betting his 3-point prop, which is over 1.5 at minus 115. It was minus 110, so it did move a little bit. The reason why it's a play, or I was debating it, even though he's hit it in 6 of his last 24, and on the entire season, it's like a 9 of 32. His last 4 games. Now, why do we care about a 4-game sample size? He was inserted in the starting lineup in this game, played 27 minutes. Now, he only took 1 3-pointer. That's not good. He didn't start in these 2 games, played 22 minutes and played 21 minutes. And then he started in the last 4. He started for Nick Smith Jr. 2 of 7, 4 of 9, 3 of 7, 1 of 6. So his last 4 games, he's averaging over 7 3-point attempts per game. These are all catch and shoot. Every single one is a catch and shoot. He actually has taken in these last 4 games the second most catch and shoot field goal attempts in the entire NBA. Not per game, just total. The Hawks are a decent defense, as I mentioned, for catch and shoot. They're bad against the pull-up and the catch and shoot. So last game, he shot 1 of 6. Now, DeQuan Jeffries isn't a guy who's like Steph Curry. When he has a bad shooting game, it's going to bounce back the other way. He could have multiple bad shooting games in a row, but I love this type of volume, and it's a pretty good matchup. I also looked at Keon Johnson in this Celtics game as well, over 11.5, or what I would have probably done is pumped it up to 15 plus. The reason why this would have been a play, why I considered it, no Cam Thomas, yes, D'Angelo Russell. He's averaging about 28 minutes per game. He's hit over 11.5 in 12 of 18, which is good. And then it's 15 plus in 10 of 18, which is also good. He's hit it in 3 straight games, 26 minutes, 25, and 31. He did hit it against this Celtics team. Took 15 shots. He went 5 of 9 from 3, so obviously that type of conversion or shooting splits, 3-point percentage was the word I'm looking for. You're not going to really be able to rely on that game over game, but that volume is good. 15 points on 15 shots. Yeah, I can get behind that. Matchup looks scary from a play type perspective, but you can't really put too much emphasis on these because this is taking the whole season into account. And the Nets have had guys in and out of the lineup. And with no Cam Thomas, Keon Johnson has the ball in his hands a lot more, even with D'Angelo Russell. So this spot up stuff, you can't really put a lot of emphasis on. We do see that 9 of 15, similar to Keon Johnson, have hit their over against the Celtics, which is pretty good. It's since the All-Star break, it's 2 of 3, which is also pretty good. Another reason why I ended up holding off was just he's done it in 2 straight games, 20 plus points in 2 straight games. It's a little bit scary, an inconsistent scorer. Is he really going to have another good game after having 2 good games in a row? It's like, I like to kind of, I call it positive regression, fade recent results. So that's why I didn't officially bet it. If Tatum ends up getting ruled out and that one gets refunded, I might pivot to this or the Daquan Jeffries one. The Bucks Warriors, if Steph plays, it's a good scoring matchup for him. The Warriors just lost to the Nuggets, who did not have Jokic or Jamal Murray. So if Steph plays, it's a good matchup for him. I like it as a fade of recent results. He just shot 6 of 21 and 4 of 14. And the matchup is really good. I mean, the Bucks give up the 5th most points per game to pick and roll ball handlers, and 10 of 15 with Steph's scoring profile have hit the over, including 2 of 3 since the All-Star break, a 40 burger for Hero and a 31 burger for Kyrie Irving. So if Steph plays, it's a good matchup for him. He's done it in 13 of his last 19. Now, you could just lock this in right now. Just bet it, and if he gets ruled out, then you just get this play refunded. I don't think that's a terrible idea. On the other side, if Steph plays, if Steph misses, probably a no touch, at least for the time being. Giannis on the boards, I don't hate, but you're just betting it so high. It's 12.5 for minus money. There's really no value there. Dame on the assists, I think is a good look as well. He had a horrible stretch where he just could not convert any of his potential assists. I mean, it's 4 of 9. It's 5 of 5, so that one's good, but then it's 4 of 11, 6 of 13, 4 of 14, 3 of 11. Finally had some good luck the other way, 11 of 15, 10 of 19, and 8 of 14. It's a decent matchup against the Warriors. They're like a generally assist team for guys like Dame. Not overall, as you can tell, but they're pretty good in terms of not allowing assists in general. But guys with the ball in their hands a ton, like Dame, they don't score a lot, so they end up passing more against the Warriors. It could also be a Giannis assist game as well, but I kind of feel the opposite for him, where like 4 straight games with 7 or more, I kind of want to fade that. And they're also, the odds are terrible as well. So right now, this game's a no touch. The only bet I looked at in this game, and I couldn't do it, I didn't have the stomach, was going right back to Donnie Mitchell. He just ripped a hole in my soul last game when I bet his point prop over, and he shot 9 of 28 from the field, 3 of 14 from deep. He ended with 23 points, and he missed his last 6 shots. So he's a good scorer in a good matchup, or I should say, against a good team like the Clippers, and he's always the kind of guy that gets up for these matchups. The matchup specifically against the Clippers is average, like 2 of 5, similar to him. I've hit the over. From a play type perspective, it looks a little bit scary, but if you go into like shot profiles and stuff, the Clippers are slightly below average guarding pull-up shooters, which Donovan Mitchell does a lot. This would really be a play, strictly positive regression. I mean, his last 3 games, 6 of 19, 4 of 15, 9 of 28. It's a good scorer and a good shooter who's going to want to get out of this slump. I mean, the playoffs are still a month away, but he's going to want to get out of the slump, especially in a good matchup. I keep saying good matchup, especially against a good team. So I didn't end up betting it. Obviously, I already told you my 3 official bets, but I don't think that it's a terrible look. I couldn't stomach another Donovan Mitchell because I bet him these last 2 games, and it's not been great. So 3 official bangers, which I'll give you right now, or I'll recap right now. It's Kristaps Porzingis over 5.5 first quarter points. It's now minus 105. I would still take it at that number. It's Jason Tatum over 3.5 made 3-pointers, plus 105 at DraftKings, and Lamelo Ball, 30 plus points, plus 140 odds at Bet365. That's all we got. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, check out Props Madness, which I just told you how I use it. The other link that you'll see in the pinned comment and in the description of the video is a link to my Tails account. Now, this is just a platform where I send all my plays out. If you're interested, you can get it sent directly through the app itself, so you'll get a push notification, or it sends through Discord as well, so you'll get a notification in Discord about a play. It's a pretty cool tool because if I find a play, I can send it out directly through their line shopping tool. And then all you need to do is just click this button and you can bet it. This is through the app, and it's also through Discord as well. Now, not every single play, like pumped up numbers, don't show up. So I have to send those out manually. And this is what it looks like when I'm not able to actually link a bet. So I'll give you the day, how many plays we're on, and then what the play is. Melo ball 30 plus points, plus 140. And then I'll include a screenshot of the bet as well, so you know that it's a real line that I'm actually betting. So if you're interested, I put a link to that in the description of the video. As you can tell, it's the same plays. You know, Jason Tatum threes, Lamelo ball points, and Kristaps first quarter points with the screenshot as well. It's the same 3 bets. So you're not getting like a special VIP in terms of different plays. You just get them early. So if you want to lock stuff in before the odds change, or you don't always have time to watch the YouTube videos, the Tails account is for you. But that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. I've been saying this recently, but I know that there's a lot of avenues where you can get stuff, people giving you plays, stuff that I give out. So I'm always appreciative of the people that choose me. So thank you for watching. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.